Yeah. Y'all watching the Grind Ethiks mixtape show, and I'm your host, Viktory Bx Supreme Promoter. Basically, nah, I'm saying basically. Yo, this is a one of my special episodes. Um, the mixtape files, basically a new episode of my documentary I've been doing since 2022. The mixtape files. For those who don't know about the mixtape files, this is where I'm showing love to the different New York mixtape DJs, whether they're famous, underground, or whatever. You know, right now I'm on the phone with my brother Unique. You know what I'm saying? He's a mixtape supporter slash listener. You know what I'm saying? He was there in that era, buying mixtapes, listening to mixtapes, and all that. You know what I mean? He was more into it than me when I was a kid. Anyway, yo, what up, Unique? What's going on?
Peace. How you doing?
No doubt.
I'm good.
Yeah, man. So tell us,
Yeah,
man. So how you doing, man? First of all.
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm good.
Yeah, man. So tell us, man. So you said you've been part of you've been listening to mixtape since when? The 80s, the 90s, early 2000s? What was your era?
I remember. I remember the early '90s. Could have been for me probably like '91, '92. Some of the first mixtapes I bought were Kid Capri and DJ SNS. I want to say that there was a particular one that I remember with DJ SNS and DJ Craig G called, the name of that mixtape was called Niggas Don't.
Niggas don't give a fuck?
Yeah. Then there was another one, I bought like 3 at that time. I think this might have been 94, 95.
Okay.
Called Niggas Ain't Nice by DJ SNS.
Okay.
It was like two versions. Um, Underneath the Tape Kings, I think that was a record label or independent record label they had at the time. Yeah. Then later on after that, Ron G was popping. If I could look, Ron G did a lot of blends that I like.
Okay.
Also SNS, he did a lot of like blends, like real nice blends. And it was a part of my growing up playing, being that I was in sports. I had this coach at the time, he was heavily into hip hop. I was listening to some of his music. Yeah. Boosie B at that time, he was much older than me.
Yeah.
Boosie B. And I would be listening to the blends and the early hip hop, what was going on. And, I was coming up at that time, I was like 13, 14, 15. The second generation, maybe the second or third generation, that's your Big Daddy Kane, the Coogee Bastards, Liquid was coming. That was going into the Nas and the Biggie and the Wu-Tang and the OC and people like that. That late 80s, early 90s. Going into the mid 90s, which I consider the golden.
Okay. So you said you had a shoebox full of what, cassette tapes or CDs or both?
Cassette tapes at that time.
So what were in them cassette tapes? What were the names of them tapes?
Wow, I had a lot of albums, a lot of studio albums, and a lot of Kid Capri's, a lot of what else I had? I used to record. I used to listen to I think it was 98 Point Kiss FM, DJ Red Alert, and then at Lover, Dr. Dre had a show out too at that time, and Mr. Magic. I would record these radio shows late at night. I think it was Friday or Saturday night. I would record them. There was a lot of recording. My home our homemade recording tapes, and then tapes I bought out there that was selling. Like I would buy them in the Fort Mill Road area.
Okay.
And then I would go to Harlem, Mark 125. There was a couple of brothers there that was selling like a lot of mixtapes.
Well, I didn't know there was mixtapes. Oh, you talking about the legendary Mark 125, the government building.
Yeah, there was a couple of vendors there that was selling mixtapes.
Okay.
You know, around, I remember buying a lot of Ron G too.
Okay, okay.
And then there was a record store. There was a record store called Bobby's House or Bobby's Record. I want to say that. I think was that 8th Avenue? That was 8th Avenue. That was like 127.
Was you ever? Go ahead. So,
I may be having the address wrong, but there was a record store called Bobby's House. Bobby's Record. They had closed down. Or they forced them to move down.
was you ever fucking with Harlem Hut? What was that store in Fordham Road? You say Fordham Road. Damn, what's that store in Fordham Road? Music Factory? Not Music Factory.
B Street Records.
B Street Records. Yeah. I remember going there.
That's where you got your latest release hip hop album.
Yeah.
I was going there, and then there was a record store, an independent record store. I think it was owned by some Spanish cats that I used to go to my neighborhood on University Avenue. Tremont University Avenue. That's what I used to get my first record.
Okay.
My first cassette album. Wow. Ooh, man, wow. That brought a lot of memories. Those were the studio albums I was getting. They wasn't selling mixtapes there. B Street, they were selling studio albums. I don't remember buying mixtapes. The mixtapes, I mostly got them off the vendors, like the independent guys.
Oh yeah. I hear that. Now you was talking about a record store in White Plains. They were distributing they were making mixtapes. They were kind of like they were just some Jamaican niggas making mixtapes and they were selling it too.
It was some West Indian. I think it was Jamaican.
Yeah.
It was a record shop / record label, and
was it a record label? Was it actually signing artists?
Both. I don't know. I know they was selling, and I was told that was also a record label too. I've seen them press up vinyl records.
It's on vinyls?
Yeah, they were selling vinyls.
And they were making vinyls.
It was they I don't know. I've seen it for myself. They were selling vinyls. I think they might have had a studio also inside of it, but I know it was a record store / like a label. They said that was a label. I bought some mixtapes there, a few mixtapes that was pumping dance hall music at that time. I had a little collection of dance hall, nothing too heavy.
Yo, Jamaican. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yo, Caribbean people are known for that. Jamaican. I think specifically Jamaicans are known for that. They're known for making. Back then, they were known for making albums right there in the store and selling it. Like one stop shop. Because they do that in Jamaica. They do that when they do that in the UK where there's a whole bunch of Jamaicans, and they do that here in the US. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or in Canada probably. I'm assuming they did that shit in Canada.
I know they had one in White Plains and one in, I think that was one in White Plains, and I know they was one in Brooklyn.
Okay. What was the name of the place?
I can't remember offhand, but my boy can tell you. My boy was really.
Yo, get me the name of that store. If you could get in contact with your homie, I want to report that on the mixtape files.
Right.
Yeah.
At that time, I was a big particular. I like soup.
Like what?
Super Cat, the artist.
Oh, Super Cat. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah.
I think he's still around.
No, nah, I think he's dead, man. Super Cat is dead.
Yeah. Sure about that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He's not around, man. He's not around no more, man. But yeah. What else about to ask you? Okay, we talked about the stores. What other stores was popping? Any other stores you were shopping at? Because we're talking about the stores now.
There was of course what other stores? There was Sanbury. I mean, those are them big stores. It was basically, it was a lot of spots in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, Jamaica, Queens, of course. I mean, did you go there? Did you go there? Never mind if you heard about it. You go there.
Yes, I went.
Okay.
I got a lot of the Coliseum and Coliseum, Galloway. These two particular spots had a lot of people. And later on years, I got into the DJ called DJ Green Madden, J Love, DJ Love.
Yeah, speak up a little bit. Speak up a little bit.
J Love.
J Love, okay.
DJ J Love. Yeah, like a lot of.
Oh, J Love.
Yeah, J Love.
I know J Love. He actually did first time I heard about him. He actually did Mobb Deep release a song, unreleased songs called Mob Misses. That's the first time I heard about J Love. I actually saw that mixtape. I was jamming to that mixtape also, yo. Big shout out to DJ J Love.
Oh, and I forgot another DJ, DJ Doo-Wop, the Bounce Squad.
Yeah. Big shout out to Doo-Wop. Yeah, you know Doo-Wop is a legend.
DJ Doo-Wop 95 Live. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yo, actually, it's the 31st anniversary of 95 Live.
Yeah.
Yep. Big shout out to Doo-Wop, yo.
Those are those things. The problem that for a lot of these stuff. You know, go do my workout. Do what I do, play ball. Have that clean back. Things like that was a part of growing up. Doo-Wop had this mixtape called The Bronx Tale.
I heard about the Bronx Tale. Actually, you could catch anybody want to hear that. You could catch that on YouTube. The Bronx Tale.
He has, of course, flavors. I had a lot of flavors. Summer Jam, 96, 95, 96.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then there was another cat, DJ Thorough.
Okay. I never heard about the. I gotta look him up.
Yeah, DJ Thorough.
You know what borough he's from, or is he from the outskirts of New York, upstate New York?
I'm not sure where Thorough. It's just something that name popped up.
Okay.
When I met Doo-Wop did a lot of blends too.
Okay, yeah, he did.
He did some blends. He did like some flash throwback.
Doo-Wop did a lot of stuff. He did some stuff for Bad Boy. He was doing some Bad Boy on mixtapes.
Yeah, he loved it a lot. He also had hip hop radio old school.
Yeah.
He like to cool out. You know, Doo-Wop had a long run.
Doo-Wop had a long motherfucking run. Even SNS said, "Yo, he came up on Doo-Wop."
Yeah, Doo-Wop. I thought DJ SNS was before Doo-Wop.
Nah, Doo-Wop was before SNS. But yo, who was your favorite DJs? Was Doo-Wop one of your favorite DJs?
He was one of my favorites, I guess, because he was from the Bronx.
That's that Bronx bias shit.
Yeah. I mean, this was the place where it was created, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if mixtapes was. I mean, hip hop was started in the Bronx, but I don't know if the whole concept of the mixtapes was started in the Bronx. I'm not sure.
Nah. I wouldn't say that. From what I'm hearing, other states have they
I would say. See, now you make me want to bring up a new topic. Where in New York did mixtape started? I think I'm a Bronx nigga, and sometimes I be on my Bronx bias shit. But I think mixtapes started in Harlem. I think it started in Harlem because with the rooftop and all that, Brucey B doing his thing. As far as street mixtapes to sell, you know what I mean? I think it started in Harlem. I don't know. Anybody could correct me on that. Anybody that been there before me, let me know do anybody know, anybody that's watching, do you know where the street mixtape started? You know what I'm saying? Did it start in the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens? Let me know. Queens niggas want to claim everything. I'm just playing.
When this music came out, it spread like wildfire. The people that had the technology or know-how, somehow they put it on mixtapes, and that's how it got spread around, whether it was vinyl or cassette. I'm sure the DJs somehow around the city or maybe it simultaneously happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Once they started to record, and they spread it out, they put it out in the street, recorded it, put it out, sold it, how they sold it, whether it was out of the trunks, bags, whatever,
Yeah.
New York is the home of the hustler,
Yeah. But what other DJs were your favorites besides Doo-Wop and Kid Capri?
Well, on the radio, I did like listening to Chuck Chill Out.
Okay. Okay.
DJ Scratch.
Okay. Big shout out to Scratch.
That was
He did radio? Scratch did radio?
I remember him in a radio at one point.
What radio station this was?
I think that was 105.
Okay.
I think that was 105. Or maybe
now you can't forget it. What about Future Flavors back in the day on Hot 97?
Yeah, I remember them.
Was that your favorite, or you didn't check it out so much?
It was good. At that time, I used to turn back. If Future Flavors, I used to go back and forth with the radio station. Future Flavors was slamming, He was slamming, and depending on where I was at in my life. And what years was that? Years going back. Future Flavors. Yeah, Future Flavors was good.
I hear that. Yeah, because I remember Future Flavors. I used to dub tapes when Future Flavors came on. Also, Stretch and Bobbito. Are you familiar with that? The halftime show?
Yeah. Stretch and Bobbito. Wow.
That used to come on WNYU College Radio.
Yeah, Stretch and Bobbito. Now, they played. Man, Stretch and Bobbito. I'm wondering if that was the first time I heard of Wu-Tang
Probably so.
Brand Nubian, and there was another station, the God, World Supreme.
Oh, the World Supreme Team, the world famous Supreme Team. That's Divine and Master, Peace to the Gods. Yeah.
They through them had some older friends that would tell me about the Supreme Team, the World Supreme Team,
The World Supreme Team.
the World. They were pretty good though. They was actually DJs, but they made some music too. They were pretty good.
Now, did you remember any other mixtapes? I know you mentioned some names of some mixtapes, but what about other names? You only mentioned Doo-Wop, but what other names that you familiar with?
DJ Clue.
No, what mix? What's the name of the mixtapes?
Ooh, man, DJ Clue. Desert Storm, of course.
Okay.
That was a top one. There was some other one. DJ K Slade. He had DJ K Slade.
Street Sweepers.
Street Sweepers. What was interesting about DJ K Slade? I know he had a long history in this culture, and he came out with Street Sweepers.
Yeah.
It seemed like
that was like early 2000s.
That was early.
I can't really recall because DJ K Slade is an older brother. Rest in peace to K Slade. I'm thinking he came out with mixtapes back in the 90s in the heyday, whatever. But I didn't really heard about DJ K Slade as a mixtape DJ till the early 2000s. He was like the oldest DJ that just came. To me, I feel like he's the oldest DJ that just came out as a mixtape DJ. I don't know anybody that's watching. Did DJ K Slade came out with any mixtapes before the early 2000s? Because the only thing I could think of is Street Sweepers back in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Did he come out with any mixtapes in the 90s or whatever, 80s? Because if he was alive right now, he would have been what, almost in his 60s or maybe 60 or maybe in his 60s. I don't know. Right? He would have been in his 60s right now if he was alive, right?
Check that out.
I remember when I first met K Slade. This was like 20 years ago. He was in his 40s already, I think. He was in his 40s.
Maybe in his 30s.
He didn't really look like he was in his late 30s at that time. I remember I first saw him I spoke to him before I saw him. I saw him at the Players Club. This is when I was promoting for Heather Hunter when she was rapping and shit. I was promoting for her album, and she was at the Players Club, the strip club in the Bronx. Yeah, it's not there no more, and that's the first time I ever seen K Slade. I mean, to me, he looked like he was in his 40s at that time. That was like 2005, 2006. You know, so he could. So I think, yeah. I don't know.
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing but Luke thinks he's wrong.
Wait. Speak up. Luke from Miami.
Yeah, from Miami.
Yeah.
He came up to perform. Him and Case, they had some type of thing going on. That was not my first time seeing them together, like doing business together. But yeah, K Slade, Street Sweepers, and his radio show, he had a strong movement.
Yeah.
And he had a record label, I believe, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a record label. K Slade put a lot of dudes out, too.
Do you remember?
I remember at one time he was promoting and pushing out Ray J.
Reggae?
Ray J, the artist Ray J.
Ray J?
Yeah, it was an album in conjunction with K Slade, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was album number 2 or this was like the young Ray J at that time.
Now, what on Street Sweepers? Because there's a lot. Street Sweepers was a whole mixtape series. What do you remember any? Street Sweepers names? Because there was certain names, there was surplus names and shit.
Ooh, I would have to look at that.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot. He had a lot going on.
He probably had like 100. I think he had like 100 mixtapes. I don't know. 100 Street Sweepers.
I don't know if that many, but I know that man was busy.
Yeah.
He was very busy. He had a lot of music. I don't lose count. Actually, at that time, at that time the music was still good, and at that time in hip hop, no offense to anybody out in the South, the vibe of the South, South. You know what I mean? To me, it seemed like you just wanted to sound like the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From New York. That's what it seemed like.
That's what it was. Really?
So K-Slade was like, he spread the love to everybody. He did. But he was like one of the few artists that was still promoting New York artists.
Yeah, exactly. Even artists, he was promoting artists on his mixtapes that didn't chart, that wasn't in the Billboard charts or whatever.
Yep.
Niggas that was gold and platinum in the streets. Now let me ask you this question. You there?
He supported a lot of independent regional artists from New York.
Yeah, like Papoose. Yeah, definitely Papoose. Oh yeah, he did a couple of Street Sweepers mixtapes dedicated to Papoose. I got. Do anybody know that's watching what's the name of Papoose mixtapes on the Street Sweepers? See, and I think Papoose had other mixtapes outside of K-Slay, whatever. But
Papoose had his own thing.
Yeah.
At one time, K-Slay and Papoose were trying to do something with Dre, I believe, but I heard.
Okay.
It didn't work out. I think it didn't work out. I don't know if it was creative differences or what. That dude, from what I'm hearing, Dre from the West Coast is like a perfectionist. What I was hearing or what I read, because it was a conflict of interest or creative differences. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they just left. I think K-Slade was upset about that.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I believe that Papoose had got his money from the labels, and he went to do his own thing.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Listening to mixtapes, right? Did that ever motivate you into buying actual albums or no?
It did.
Okay. Do you remember what albums you bought on the strength of mixtapes?
Some of these artists I already heard their music already.
Okay.
Does it say if I heard at that time? I remember hearing Coochie Rap. It's a shame I can't remember what mixtape it was, but I already knew I had to buy that Coochie Rap album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is dope. Or I might have heard. That's one I kind of remember. Or I might have heard. Oh, 50, yeah, 50 had a whole movement on mixtape.
Yeah.
So I guess that helped. The anticipation when he
that did help. Yeah, 50 Cent. Yeah, yo, bro, 50 Cent. Yo, I ain't go. Yo, for those who was there, you just had to be there, man. 50 Cent. I feel like his album. Not that I feel. Fuck what I feel. His album basically definitely went with platinum, double platinum, triple platinum, whatever, on the strength of all those goddamn mixtapes. I feel like without the mixtapes, he would not been that big.
Yeah. He actually had a first album that was from Columbia.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, whatever had happened.
Yeah, because he got shot like 9 times. So Columbia was like, nah, man, you can't. They looked at him as a liability.
So, you know, he went back to square one, and that brother was destined to be destined. He didn't give up. You know what I mean?
Nah.
And he didn't give up. That was the point. He kept it moving, and he met the people that met him. I believe Eminem and Dre, or Eminem would show his. He just kept that fire. Just kept it going. You know?
Yeah, he just kept it going.
Mixtape helped blow. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how you feel about back in the days when MCs or rappers was hosting mixtapes without the DJ? Do you think that helped the culture or took away from the culture?
Without the DJ, you said?
Yeah. How you feel about rappers hosting mixtapes without the DJ? Because you had the Dipsets. You had Dipset doing a bunch of mixtapes without the DJ, 50 Cent, and other people.
I think it kind of took away.
Okay.
The DJ was the one that was playing, that was pushing.
Yeah.
The way how this culture started, I think the way how this culture started, I think the DJ made it came first. And then the MC.
Yeah. What do you think was the what happened?
It seemed like the MC became the star of hip hop.
Yeah. Now for those who yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Now when I think about it, watching I think it was Soul Train, watching Curtis Blow. At first you had your Cool Hercs and your Disco Mario, people like that. Nobody, those that know.
He said Disco Mario. A lot of people don't know about Disco Mario. Rest in peace to Disco Mario. You got me emotional now.
That's what I do know. Disco Mario and Travel, went to the West Side, Cool Herc. I think that Bada got to it, and Grandmaster Flash. Yeah, there was many others, but those are the four names.
A lot of people our generation that's in their 40s, we're in our 40s. A lot of people our generation, and people call us old heads, but a lot of people our generation don't know about Disco Mario. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was. You gotta know. You know what I'm saying? That brother came before. He was bigger than Flash. He was bigger than Herc. He was bigger than Bambaataa. Bambaataa used to carry his crates.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Yep.
For those that know,
they know. Because when people say that, yo, I do not like these motherfucking some of these so-called hip-hop journalists that be on fucking TikTok and YouTube Shorts. They actually be like, yo, Kool Herc created hip-hop, or he brought hip-hop from Jamaica. I'm like, oh, you stupid. Like, no, Kool Herc did not have no fuck. First of all, when Kool Herc first came to the Bronx, when he first came to America in general, he didn't have no equipment. This man was like in his teenage years, 12, 13 years old, traveling with his family. Come on, bro. Like, they made it seem like he was a grown man, came through the airport with fucking speakers and 2 turntables and a mic. Get the fuck out of here. But no disrespect to Kool Herc, but even Kool Herc would tell you that. Like, come on.
the rapper that was with his partner, they said they didn't even know they were.
At that time, it wasn't cool to be Caribbean.
Yeah, and at that time, Kool Herc came in, see what was going on. And I think I remember this. He was like, reggae or dancehall was not that popular. playing the music that was here, that funk, that James Brown, that funk.
Yeah.
Started doing the breakbeat. The Bronx was doing it. The Bronx. From what I understand, Brooklyn and Queens, they was playing disco. The Bronx was doing breakbeat. It spread out to Harlem. Mario was doing it first, and then it spread. Mario, who I believe was a former Black Spade.
Yeah, he was a former Black Spade, yeah.
He was doing it first, or one of the first, but he's the one that was, up in the Bronx, I think by the way of North Carolina, but was raised up in the Bronx. And then Kool Herc came in to see what was going on. So he added his little flavor to the reggae and the scratching. I think that's what made him became popular. You know what I mean? Kool Herc. And he had that party with Cedric Gavin. And it just so happened, he's playing American music doing breakbeat. It just so happened that his background in Jamaica.
Yeah.
He said it himself. He started dressing more American now. A lot of the forefathers, like their background was on the West End, was playing American music. I wouldn't say that hip hop came straight out of Jamaica. Music was already here.
Yeah, and then you already, and not to cut you off, you already had two turntables in the mic because a brother by the name of Grandmaster Flowers, he wasn't a hip hop DJ per se. He was playing a lot of disco. He had two turntables in the mic. Actually, there's a picture of him on YouTube, an old picture of him on YouTube. I think in the late '60s or early '70s of him with two turntables.
Right. But he was playing disco.
Yeah, he was playing disco. Yeah.
To me, it seems like hip hop, the music came out of that soul and that funk. That was that James Brown. A lot of music was sampled from James Brown. And they was chopping it up. They was doing a breakbeat. They would play like loop it up. So I think that's what Kool Herc, the way he was scratching, he had a style of scratching for the merry-go-round.
Exactly.
That's why he became popular. And then I guess whatever he knew from Jamaica as far as the speed, even though I think that they had it here, he brought some of that flavor from Jamaica and added it on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think collectively that was all he did.
Yo, now going back to the mixtapes, what do you think was the best era of mixtapes? The 90s or the early 2000s? I'm going to tell you how I think later. Or what I think later.
Good question. The mixtapes. Good question. I think I'm honestly say I'm a 90s. The 90s was like the golden era of hip hop.
Yeah, it was a magical era.
But I think the way the sound quality of mixtapes sounded it sounded much better in the 2000s. The music, you understand what I'm saying? The music it sounds better, and the music itself in general.
Yeah.
With like the golden, with the 90s. I would say even early to the early 2000s, like after 2005. Somewhere around when 50 dropped Get Rich or Die Trying, I think that's when New York hit pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? That was it. Because it seemed like 50 Cent was like that last New York dude until years later some other cats came up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The South, the South, the Bronx and the South. They was doing what they was doing. So there's some dope music too. New York, the South was kind of dominating for a while. It seemed to me like the sound quality of mixtapes got a bit was like around Clue, that era.
Clue, Absolute, DJ Envy.
It seemed like that era of hip hop, the music, the sound quality started to sound better. You know what I mean? A lot of those mixtapes
That's when it was already mixed CDs in the early 2000s. Mixed CDs. It was called, but everybody called mixtapes. I mean, mixed CDs and mixtapes. We had a habit of calling it, mixtapes. But to us, yeah. Yeah.
It was being still called mixtape.
Yep.
Now at this time, somewhere in the late 90s, I want to say 97, 98, got some CDs started to become popular. We were still calling them mixtapes.
Yeah, we're still calling mixtapes, yeah. But so you think it's the early 2000s? So basically, you saying in the 90s it was
Late 90s.
it was better as far as the mixtape New York era was better as far as the excitement, but as far as sound quality, the early 2000s was better as far as mixtapes.
Like that, like late 90s. I want to say 90, 97 and up. I noticed the sound quality got better.
Yeah.
The mixtape in New York, it was still promoting artists around that didn't even grow. We don't even know some of these artists.
Yeah.
What even happened to some of them? The ones that's still around, you had your Jay-Z, your Nas, I.B., Unsigned Hype. Remember the Unsigned Hype column in Source?
Yeah.
So I remember seeing my B up there, Nas. These are the big stars that's still around over 20 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now there's some groups that came out. It was like one time, two times, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Like Bathgate. You ever heard of a rapper called Bathgate? He was all over the mixtapes. I never seen a video of Bathgate. I don't even know what he looked like. I remember I was working with a brother when I was working at AM New York News. He said Bathgate is one of those dudes that's be on the mixtapes. He's on the rise. I never heard anything from him. Saigon was very big on the mixtape. Saigon, he's from Rockland County in Brooklyn. But what DJ he was working? He was working with different DJs, New York mixtape DJs. Saigon definitely blew up on the mixtape ever in the early 2000s. I would say the early 2000s is when MCs blew up the most, man. Like the independent MCs. You know what I'm saying? The 90s was more like the 90s was already promoting. The 90s mixtapes mostly was promoting MCs that was already out there, like Busta Rhymes, Biggie, Wu-Tang, whoever, But then again, Wu-Tang Clan was on mixtapes before they became big. They had mixtapes circling all over Staten Island before they became big. Because I actually heard a mixtape on YouTube that sounded real fucking. It sounded like a regular cassette tape. Sounded real muffled, real hissy, and it was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? But this is before Protect Your Neck Wu-Tang, before 36 Chambers Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? So Wu-Tang was definitely doing their thing on the mixtape scene before they blew up. But I want to know hold up. Let me not to cut you. Anybody that's watching, especially from Staten Island, from the 80s, 90s, or whatever, do you know what DJs was messing with or dealing with Wu-Tang? What DJs was promoting Wu-Tang Clan on their mixtapes that was from Staten Island, or even if there wasn't from Staten Island, let me know in the comment section if y'all know, because I want to do some because I want to I'm doing more research for this mixtape files, for this mixtape file documentary. I definitely need more information as much as possible. Anyway, go ahead.
I remember Ron G used to play all of these joints.
Who joints?
Ron G do what?
Yeah, he used to play it. Ron G used to bring niggas to his crib and to record stuff, to record freestyles and all that.
And do what?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I want to talk about the beef mixtapes. Do you think the beef mixtapes from back in the day, did it took away from the culture or elevated the culture?
You talking about the instrumentals?
No, I'm talking about the beef mixtapes that talk about beef.
Talk about beef.
Beef. I'm talking about niggas who have beef with each other, like Beanie Siegels and Styles
I
P.
think, I think, I think, I think it was the way. I think it was a part of. I think it helped a little bit. Without
Okay.
the violence, you know, hip hop is competitive. You know what I mean? But without growing up, I always seen it was always a battle. Who, you know, who could talk the slickest, who had the flyest whip, who had the, you know, basically like a verbal, a verbal swordplay type thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That was just a part of hip hop, you know, very competitive.
Exactly.
You had the boroughs that was, you had the boroughs that was kind of going at each other with someone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, did you listen to other genres besides hip hop? Do you listen to other genres of mixtapes, like reggae, R&B?
I did. You know, I can't tell you offhand. You know, some reggae here, then there was some soul and R&B. But at that time, I was more. That hip hop was like the whole you. I didn't really want to listen to anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you know, dancehall was kind of mixed in with the hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
KRS-One did that, and then it seemed like after KRS-One, there was a string of records that people were doing. They were doing the mix with the reggae and the R&B, or the dancehall with the R&B, or the dancehall with the hip hop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And those two music was always like blended with each other, kind of in that way.
Yeah. I hear that. Well, thank you, my brother, for being on the Mixtape Files. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you guys say before we leave?
Nah. Good interview. Keep up the good work. Peace.
Thank you, man. Peace, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Peace. Yeah, man. That was my brother Unique. Yo, thank y'all for watching this segment of the Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show, the Mixtape Files. Yo, anybody that was a mixtape lover from back in the days, whether it be the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, for the sake of my research, let me know different things, man. And if I was incorrect in terms of different eras or whatever, hey, correct me. You know, yeah, man. Or if you think there's any information that I need to know, that I need to report, definitely drop it in the comments. Definitely drop it. You know, and I'll do my further research. If you say anything, I'm not gonna just say it, but I'm gonna do my research, ask people, whatever, dig in the files, Google shit to death, you know, whatever. Even if I have to go to the fucking library. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because when it comes to New York mixtape, the New York mixtape history is a lot to cover. It's a lot to cover. Pretty soon, I'm gonna cover the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But now we're doing some, New York shit. You know. But anyway, I'm out. Anyone that liked this episode, the Grind Ethiks Mixtape Show, aka the Mixtape Files, hey, share this, like it, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'm out. And remember, peoples, tell a friend that is all about the motherfucking grind, basically.